Probably about halfway through the game, or so. Once we get through the Imperial City, it becomes very linear, and the game gets much shorter. And we're already about halfway through the Imperial City, so I'm not sure how much is left of Jade Empire, but not much. We're also playing Elden Ring, and Elden Ring is one of those really long games, right? Turn this music down a little bit. Elden Ring is a very long game, and we could be playing it for like God knows how much longer. So there's kind of two separate categories. After Elden Ring, after we're done with Elden Ring, we will be hopping into Baldur's Gate 3. Single player. Me, myself, and Baldur's Gate. So I can immerse, and we can enjoy it, and I can figure out how the game works. And play it. So one, and it's like 100+ hour game, potentially. It's like infinite. It's an infinite game. So it's like, it'll fit the Elden Ring slot of our weekly kind of shtick. So when Elden Ring's done, we'll be playing Baldur's Gate 3 in that slot. As for the Jade Empire slot, next thing we will be playing is the Middle-earth games. And that includes Shadows of Mordor and Shadows of War, correct? Let's just do Shadows of Mordor and Shadows of War. Correct? I think that's right. Shadows of War, we will see if we do them back to back. We'll kind of play it by ear. If we really like Shadows of Mordor, we'll go right into Shadows of War right after. And we got to keep in mind, I play things really slow, but for pretty much all of these playthroughs in this list, I'm going to be focusing on only the main story. I'm not going to be doing all the side stuff and all of the things. I'm going to reserve that for games that I'm like really passionate about. Otherwise, we're just going to do like main story. So each of these games are about 25 hours of like main story. So I imagine I will be able to beat both of these games in 2 months. So that's the game plan of probably March and April. Middle-earth games. I'm excited for those. I've wanted to jump into the Lord of the Rings world so bad. So that's the plan. That's what's next after Jade Empire. After that, she's not currently subbed right now, Snuggie, so I don't think she'd be able to accept a trade. I'm sorry. We're shaving money. Since she's been playing Hogwarts and getting into Nancy. Okay. Next after that. Final Fantasy 9. That's right. It's a very long game. One I'm very passionate about and excited to play, and I've wanted to do it on stream for a long time. And there's no voice acting in it. So you know what that means. I get to practice. And I get to be a fool, and you guys get to watch me be absolutely ridiculous. Yes, audition streams. Exactly. So it'll be fun. This game's 50+ or so hours from my light research on each of them. So I imagine this game alone will probably take about 2 months. So this could be ish May and June. May and June of this year. Final Fantasy IX. Looking forward to that. It's going to be super fun. I'm going to... Those streams are going to be really hard, man. I'm really looking forward to it, but I want to voice act the entire thing. It's going to be brutal, and that will be exciting for everyone. Including me. But it'll be hard. It'll be tough. busy in May planning Gremlin's birthday. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. We'll just be chilling, and I'll be practicing my my voiceover voice acting, essentially. And then right out of that, a shorter game, Chrono Trigger. And that'll take about 1 month. It's much shorter, a similar sort of thing, and that's what will happen. But it's a much shorter game than Final Fantasy IX, so it should only take me about a month. Maybe less, we'll see. All of these games, like I said, we're going to be focusing on the main story, and these are rough estimates of how long it should take me. If I stream about 6 to 8 hours of a game a week, that's the estimate. Sometimes I end up playing more than that a week, so it might be faster than that, it might be a little longer than that, but it's a good estimate. Good estimates here. Next after that, we will be entering March, April, May, June, July. Come August, around August, we will be starting the BioShock trilogy. That's right. And that should take about 2 months for all of them, all 3 of them. And that'll be easing us into spooky season of this year. BioShock's gonna be sick. BioShock's gonna be super sick. I've played a little bit of the first one, but I don't think I've ever beaten any of them, so I don't know like anything about it. The only game on this list so far that I like know is Final Fantasy IX. So this is all really new to me. So we got to keep that in mind too with these time frames. I'm playing them on the hardest difficulty, right? So it could be longer too. So remember, this is all rough estimate of how long they're going to take and etc. But this is the rough order. And once I get this list out, we can kind of tweak if you guys feel like there needs to be tweaks or something that everyone unanimously agrees they want to see sooner. We'll get into that. We'll get into that. This is not set in stone. After that, come October, Resident Evil 1 through 4. We're going to play Resident Evil 1 through 4. I spoke with Pilot Cooper about this, and he thinks I should do, and I think I agree, the remakes of, or the first one is kind of like more of like a remaster sort of thing. It's like the original game, but with like GameCube graphics from my understanding. So we'll probably play that version. And then we'll do like the remakes of 2 and 3. And then I think we're going to do the original of 4. And then maybe in the future, we'll do the remake of 4. I think that's a good plan. I think that's, Pilot and I agreed that seemed like a good idea to play the original 4 before I play the remake of 4. So I think that's what we're going to do. And that should be like our entire month of October will just be Resident Evil. It'll be really epic. I've never played them all the way through. I played the first one on PlayStation when I was like really young, but I was too scared to get past the first level. Okay. After all that scare and fear and creepy, we'll be entering November. It is Lily and I's birthday. It is Thanksgiving. It is wholesome vibes. We will finally be starting Kingdom Hearts.
Hey, I feel like we're friends already.
That's right, just a little. That's right. That's right. It's my birthday. I can play what I want to. That's what we'll be doing. We'll be playing 1 through 3. I'm not going to try to 100% the games as much as I'd really like to on stream. I think we're just going to be blasting through it as best we can. Those games are going to be really hard on the hardest difficulty. Might take me a while for those. That might be... Kingdom Hearts might take us like 3 months. Like 3 months for the Kingdom Hearts game alone. Hearts games alone. Let's do this. One through 3. I'm not going to worry about playing every single one of like the side Kingdom Hearts. We may watch like the cutscenes, like all the cutscenes of the other games, and not play them, so we can still have some of the lore and stuff. But it's all on YouTube, so we may do that for like the side games, like Chain of Memories and stuff. We'll have some like reaction type stuff, like while I'm eating and stuff. We can like watch some of those. Okay. After Kingdom Hearts, it'll be around the beginning of the new year. We're gonna spend a little time in Spyro. That's right. We're playing a little bit of Spyro. If you guys haven't noticed a trend yet, anytime there were essentially multiple people suggesting the same thing, I included it on the list. I didn't include everything from everyone, but when there was spillover of people suggesting the same thing, I was like, all right, we gotta do it then. We need a game plan, Kel. It's for my own... It's for my own mental fortitude. It's for my own mental stability. And plus, if new people come in, they know what to expect from the channel instead of me just being like, I don't know. So, getting rid of your backlog? Yes, essentially. Well, this is kind of what I've been doing on stream anyways, but I just haven't really had a plan. I think this is good. I think this is a good idea. And this is all subject to change. We might swap things out. Like, we could take out Chrono Trigger, move it to later, move something up, move Spyro after Final Fantasy IX or something. We can do all kinds of things. But this is kind of how I've seen the general layout. After Spyro, Spyro should only take me about a month. And I was thinking remastered. Remastered Spyro. Probably only the first game. Maybe we'll do the trilogy. We'll see. We'll see how we're feeling about it. But since multiple people wanted to see it, we're gonna at least play the first one. And that should only take about 1 month, maybe less. Going out of Spyro will be around the time that I feel like Just a Lil and I will have gotten through a lot of the Final Fantasy story, because I'm going to be starting New Game, doing the New Game Plus in Final Fantasy and enjoying the story more. And I think Lily's just going to join me like right here and watch the story with me, essentially. And around this time next year or so, after we do a lot of that this year, we'll start It Takes Two with Lily and I.
Woo! Maybe we'll have a house by then.
That'll be very hype. Always want to play Chrono Triggers myself. Always want to, but always forgot. Same, man. I think I've played like the... I feel like I beat that game when I was littler? When I was small. But I don't really... I don't know. I don't remember. It might be more familiar to me. I get that game and Golden Sun confused. Yes, Weedoa. Yes. It Takes Two is a great game. I think Lily and I will have a lot of fun with that game. You'll see the yin and yang of our personalities. She's going to have a horrible, struggling time laughing, and I'm going to be frustrated smashing the table. It'll be great. You guys will love it. I hope. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. You'll see Rage Doa and Goofy Lil. And then after that, well, kind of, not really. It Takes Two isn't, we're not going to like be stopping our other things. That'll be just like around the time when we start doing It Takes Two. And it'll be sprinkled in throughout the month or couple of months, however long it takes. So essentially, right out of Spyro, we'll be starting Red Dead. 1 and 2. So yes, we will be going from Spyro to Red Dead Redemption. Or Red Dead 1, yeah, whatever the first one's called. And those games will probably take me about 3 months. Oh yeah, Split Fiction does look really cool. That is a cool concept. But I've never been one to like jump on the bandwagon of something that's really popular that's coming out. There's gonna be so many big streamers playing things like Split Fiction that it's like, I'll wait until it becomes a little more nostalgic. You know what I mean? Can't wait for Doa to get distracted tomorrow. What's happening? Wait, what happens tomorrow? Huh. Yes, Pilot. We will be playing the Red Dead. And that will be around this time next year. About 12 months from now, we'll be starting Red Dead. Ish. And then right out of Red Dead. This list is insane, dude. This list is insane. We'll start Jedi Fallen Order and Survivor. I'm already tired, man, thinking about it. I'm already tired. And those games will take me about 2 months or so. Kel, you might have missed it. These are all ballpark. We're playing on the hardest difficulty, but all of these games I will solely be focusing on the main story. I won't be doing all of the side stuff unless I have to in order to actually beat the game, because I'll be playing it on the hardest difficulty, right? So there's some games that I'll have to, you know, do some side farming and stuff, you know? So, okay, cool. I'm hyped for those. Right out of those. In about 13, 14, 15 months from now, we will be starting Halo 1 through 3. All right, anyways. Those games are really fast, but I expect it might take me about 2 months. Because we're playing on the hardest difficulty, so I might be sitting there bashing my head against that game for a hot minute. Okay. Does that include Reach and ODST? As of now, no. No. But that leaves... It's kind of like how I'm feeling about Andromeda. In the future, actually, I can probably pretty much guarantee we will go back and we'll play Andromeda, and we'll do things similar kind of like that with Reach and ODST. Because I liked Reach, and I know ODST is really good too. I never played ODST. But that'll be in the future. We'll see how 1 through 3 goes, because those are like the bing. It's the trilogy, right? But yes. And Andromeda, yes. But those will be future things, you know what I mean? We'll see how the playthrough goes, see how everybody likes it. And if it's just like spur of the moment, we're playing through the 3 and it's just like, damn, I really have to hop into Reach, or I really need to hop into ODST. Like, we'll kind of play it by ear. This isn't like set in stone. Keep in mind, this isn't set in stone. There's room for change. And going out of Halo, we shall play Tyranny. That's right, Star Scourge. Did you hear that? Exiled. That's right. It's not as short a game as Scourge had made it sound. It's about a 30-hour game, which is longer than the Shadows of Mordor, technically. But that, I ballparked it and said it'll take about a month. You're currently playing Tyranny? Ooh, what do you think, Hell? I know like little to nothing about it, but I think it'll be around a good time, and probably pretty close to around the time I'll be finishing up like my solo playthrough of Baldur's Gate, which I think will be fun to go like Baldur's Gate and Tyranny, kind of like as Baldur's Gate is falling off, Tyranny is kind of coming in. That's kind of how I imagine this working out, but should be cool. Pretty much Pillars of Eternity. Yeah, I thought I didn't add Pillars of Eternity to the list. Maybe on a future list. Probably on a future list. But since I was playing Baldur's Gate, or gonna be playing Baldur's Gate so much, I was like, Pillars of Eternity, Tyranny, and Baldur's Gate all at the same time. I feel like they're all like very similar. So I'm like, we'll space it out. We'll space them all out a little bit. But there was overlap with Tyranny. Scourge suggested it. Exile backed it up. So I was like, all right, we're gonna add it to the list. And it's not nearly as long as something like Baldur's Gate, so it'll be good. Oh yeah, I will, Exiled. I will. I'm trying to keep my like slate and like not think anything about any of these games. So that way, like when we're hopping into it, I'll be able to get the hype. I'll watch the trailer before we sit down and play it and all that. I want to keep my mind like free from all of these things. So I want to go into them as blind as I possibly can. We'll be playing Tyranny, and I imagine that taking about a month. And then right out of Tyranny, Fable 1 through 3. Oh yeah. I've been wanting to play Fable. It hurts knowing that it's like a year and a half away potentially. But like I said, things are subject to change. We'll see. Fable's going to be super fun. Fable's going to be super fun. And I imagine that's going to take all three of them about 2 months. Just for main story. The Fable games are can be pretty dang short if you just go through the main story, which is what we'll be doing. We're not going to be spending too much time in them. And then, out of Fable, Fallout 3 and New Vegas. Seems like forever away, but it'll sneak up on us faster than we realize. And I imagine those games will take me about 2 months. And that is our list. That is our list going forward on this channel. There are so many games. There are so many games we could be playing. Oh, the list was amazing, guys. Thank you so much for all the suggestions. I tried to fit as many, like every single time multiple people suggested the same thing, I was like, all right, we're doing it. We're doing those on the list. And some of them I wasn't able to make on here, like the Telltale games, Pillars of Eternity, Warhammer 40K Rogue Trader, Elder Scrolls. I would love to play through the Elder Scrolls games, but they're a big time investment. So after Baldur's Gate, maybe we can look at something like Oblivion or something, or Morrowind. That'd be fun. Or Dragon Age even, or Dragon Age. Pathfinder, yeah. Cyberpunk is a really good one, Scourge. I don't know. Games like that, Cyberpunk I can see myself spending a lot of time in. So that might be more of our, like, when Baldur's Gate rotates out, we'll have to readdress what's going to be filling that slot once we're getting at the end of Baldur's Gate. So something like Cyberpunk or like Skyrim or something like that would be a good idea. Outer Worlds Exile was mentioned. The Yakuza games. I've always wanted to play the Yakuza games. I think I'd love those. I love Ratchet and Clank, but we got Spyro on there because there was overlap there. Batman from Pilot, the Batman series. Kai Cenat's playing those right now, so I was like, I think, nah, not right now. Maybe in the future, probably in the future. I've heard they're objectively amazing games. Ghost of Tsushima is something that I really want to play, but it's hard to fit on the list right now. Metro from Kyoto, Small Saga. I hadn't heard of either of those. And we've got so many things on the list. There's a couple of things from Kyoto's list that I missed. Dorazin, his wish has been granted. So I'm super grateful for you guys and all the suggestions. I threw in some of my own, you know.
1, 2.
This is my own private domicile, and I will not be harassed. Bitch!
Dude! Hey, Captain. This is the list. Yes, the list trademarked. That's right. It's a good list, man. It's a good list. Baldur's Gate 3! Shadows of Mordor and Shadows of War! Final Fantasy IX! Chrono Trigger! BioShock 1, 2, and 3! Big Daddy! Resident Evil 1 through 4! Kingdom Hearts 1 through 3! Spyro Remastered. It Takes Two. Red Dead 1 and 2. Jedi Fallen Order and Survivor. Halo 1 and 3. And 2. Mostly 2. Tyranny. Fable 1 through 3. And Fallout 3 and New Vegas. So what do you guys think about the list? It's a pretty good list, right? What are we most excited for? And why is it Kingdom Hearts? It is a very long list. Baldur's Gate 3, yeah. That's starting soon. Resident Evil. Those are going to be fun. Those are going to be fun streams. BioShock's going to be really fun. Yeah, the August, September, October, like spooky time this year is going to be a lot of fun. Kingdom Hearts is sleeper. Anyways, It Takes Two. Yeah, it's just a little looking forward to It Takes Two. Okay, she wants that screen time.
I'm just excited to play with
Red Dead and Jedi games. Yeah, I feel that, Doro. I feel that. Yeah, we may end up moving these up the list. We'll see a little bit. It feels odd having Red Dead so far out and these two games so far out. But I think I'm going to be able to get through a lot of these games much faster than the time that I have listed here. Because I'm going straight main story. We're going to be powering through them. And if like I'm like really loving, like obsessively loving the game, we might spend a little more time on it, do some side stuff. Certain games might want me to do some more side things, you know what I mean? So Tyranny and Spyro. Oh, you're excited for all of them, Exiled. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I'm watching you, Kellicrits. I'm watching you. I'm watching you. You know what's not sleeper? Me about to be hopping into Elden Ring, like right now. For a little while before raid. Yeah, is that sleeper? Huh? 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 I'm excited. I think this is a good call. We did some theorizing. We did some theorizing, and I think this is really good. I'm gonna take a screenie. Of this and post it into the Discord. Probably in Vibes. That way. Actually, I need to do like an exclamation point. What should we call the exclamation point command? So it'll like put the list in chat for people. So if anyone ever asks, oh, what games do you plan on playing in the future? It can be like exclamation point plan. I like that. Wiener? No. I like plan. Exclamation point plan is good. Future? That's good too. Plan's a shorter word.
Plan sounds kind of fun.
Or list. Exclamation point list?
Up next,
No.
the list.
Exclamation point the list.
The list.
I think list is good. List or plan?
Plan.
I think list or plan is good. They're only 4 letters, so it's easy for people. That's true, Exiled. Future! Exclamation point games. That's good.
I think plan. Can you do a vote?
Games is good, Dorzan, huh?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Games makes sense. Games make sense. I like games.
Yeah, do games.
Because plan's kind of vague, list is kind of vague.
Right to the point.
Game list, yeah.
Hey, Aries.
Okay. Let's copy this. All right, let's go over to Stream Elements. You can do it! Chatbot, chat commands, custom commands, add new command, exclamation point games, paste.
Yay.
This might be like a sneeze of a wall of text. It might be better to like link it to like an Imager link or something. What do you guys think? Let's see how this works and see if it looks awful in chat. How about that?
Oh, that's nice.
Um,
I mean, it's a little.
looks pretty bad. Yeah,
Maybe just Discord.
I could maybe just do a smaller forecast. No. That's true. I mean, I could just do like the first half of this list. That might look a little cleaner, and I could just let's see. Oh, I didn't really need to do that. Add spaces at the end of each of these, and that'll help clean it up. One of these. See how this looks. Yeah, we could exclude the duration. That's true. It's getting there. Yeah, I like the idea of getting rid of the duration. That's a good idea. Okay, let's see. Yeah, that's a good idea, Exiled. Okay, that looks pretty clean. What do we think of that? That looks pretty clean. The average Twitch goblin has zoomer attention span. Yeah, that's true. But the bigger the list, the more likely that somebody sees a game that they're really looking forward to, right? So they're more likely to press follow and keep an eye on the channel. You know what I mean? The more games there are on the list, I think the better. But I like the idea of having like the extended list. Ooh. Extended list in Discord. Not everyone thinks the way you do, Kel, but I understand what you're saying. I think that looks good. All right. Should I put this in? Should I pin this in vibes? I think vibes feels right. That looks good. I think the mindset people have is they want to know what's coming next. And I don't think there's anything wrong with having an extended list of what is coming next. Yeah, that's good, Exiled. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Okay, we'll save this list. Yeah, I don't think there's any downside of having a longer list. But I like the idea of condensing the list with the exclamation point command. But yeah, doubly true doors. And yeah, if they're like, oh, I see you have this on your list. When are you gonna, how much longer do you think until that happens? Like, oh, maybe it'll probably be in about 6 months or so. So definitely drop the follow, or, you know, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I don't think there's any negative to it, but I agree that with Zoomer mentality, you know, the next 3 games is a good idea, but a lot of these games, no Zoomer's going to give a shit about anyways. Like, let's be real. A lot of these games, no Zoomer's going to care. And our community is like, the demographic is not really Zoomers, you know? So it's like, I'm not too worried about that. I'm not, like I said, I'm not doing this to rapidly grow. There would be vastly other things I would be doing if I was just trying to capture the Zoomers on Twitch. You know what I mean? So that's not really my target. Exactly, Exiled. Like, this list seems huge, like it's gonna take forever, but like I've said, main story is all we're doing. We're gonna be flying through these games faster than I think you guys realize. I'm not gonna treat every single one of these games like I've been treating KOTOR, Mass Effect, Jade Empire even. I'm not gonna be doing every little nook and cranny of everything, you know? We'll just be flying through it. And some of these games are only like 5 hours long, 7 hours long, 10 hours long, 15 hours long, which some of these games I might knock out in a week or 2. So seems like a really long list, but it's really not. There's some bangers on this that will take a good amount of time. Like Final Fantasy IX might take a while. Baldur's Gate 3 is going to take like an infinite amount of time. Kingdom Hearts could take a while. Red Dead's going to take a while. Fallen Order could, you know, Fallout could, but again, even Fallout, like, it's in a super big, long game, but we're focusing on the main story. So suddenly a huge, massive game is much shorter, you know? I think it's good. Thank you guys for being here and helping figure it out. And it's all subject to change. It's all subject to change. We may or may not even play Shadows of War this year. Like, we'll play Shadows of Mordor, see how we're feeling about it. And if depending on how much time it takes, we may hop right into Final Fantasy out of Shadows of Mordor. And in which case that cuts an entire game out of the equation, you know? Depending on how long that goes. Like, I want to be on track for starting BioShock in like the middle of August, early September. That way I'm playing Resident Evil like the end of September all the way through October. So up until like spooky season, August, September, so things are subject to change. These first like 5 games may not be exact. We'll see how it goes. I think I've got the estimate in my head pretty good. And I'm generally playing, like my Jade Empire playthrough, I'm generally playing about 6 to 8 hours a week on stream. So that's the math there. A 25-hour game would take me about 3 weeks to a month. So these estimates are honestly a little high, but I'm also factoring in the fact that I'm playing on hardest difficulty, so it's still subject to change. Not yet, Kel. We're about halfway through.
Jaden.
Maybe a little more, because once we get out of the Imperial City, the game gets much more linear. There's not as much random side quest stuff. About halfway through, I think. Pretty close.
Kyle.
But we're not playing every game with the same scrutiny like I've been playing Jade Empire. Yeah, Jade Empire's been one of those near and dear games to my heart, so I'm like spending more time on it than I will a lot of these games. I flew through the last couple chapters. Yeah, like once you get through the Imperial City, the game becomes very like, all right, all you've got left is this main story. It's like there's not really any side stuff. You just kind of cruise to the end. So it's kind of hard to say if we're halfway. That's why I think like we're about halfway, because there's still a lot of side stuff that we're gonna go through and do. I'm excited. I'm excited for this list. I think it's a great list. There's a little bit of what I want to bring to the table. There's a lot of bit of what you guys want to see that I am interested in. So I'm interested in seeing it. It'll be nice to kind of have the back and forth of like, I don't know what this game has for me. Like we're playing Jade Empire, which I'm like super familiar with. Next we're playing Middle Earth games, and I know zero nilch nada about them. And then right out of that, we're going into Final Fantasy, which I'm more familiar with. So it'll be nice because I'm stretching myself with the stuff I'm like a little like unsure about. And then I'm back in my wheelhouse of doing something that I'm really confident about. So it'll be good for me to kind of back and forth it like that. It'll be good.
You have some games to figure out stuff that you already know.
What happens if I don't like the game? It's kind of hard to say that about any of these because all of these games are so well received. But I don't know. I mean, it's entirely possible. If I don't like the game, then we'll move on. I'm not too worried about it. I think we'll be able to read the room. But I mean, I can't imagine myself not like enjoying every single one of these games. They're all bangers. These are all like top 50 games of all time. At least up there. Most of them all have something to offer. Yeah. And the variety's pretty great. It's pretty vast, different play styles. So it's interesting. I'm excited for this summer. We're going to have some really cozy, relaxing streams with Final Fantasy and Chrono Trigger. Those are going to be really relaxing and chill for you guys. It'll be entertaining for you guys, but it's going to be work for me. But I love Final Fantasy IX so much, it's going to be a good time. The voice acting ought to be fun and goofy. And good practice.
Plus new street background during the summer. If we did movie summer.
Oh god, yeah.
I know.
I don't want to think about moving right now. Yeah. Spooky season is going to be fun too. BioShock, Resident Evil is going to be a really good time. It's a good list. It's a very good list. I think hopefully I made everyone happy that did suggest. I got at least one thing from each suggested pool of suggestions, sometimes 2, sometimes 3. So, and luckily you guys suggested games that I was interested in playing anyways, so I'm glad we got it on there. It feels bad because there's so many games that I would like to see on here, man. But this isn't the end all be all. There will be more lists. Fallout can be bumped up, my only gripe. Yeah, I feel that. It feels like forever away, right? Yeah. Yeah, I saw that and like was adding Fallout 3 and it being at the end of the list seems really wrong. Yeah. I mean, Fallout 3 and New Vegas, I see that is they're kind of like spooky time games as well in my head. Like all the August, September type vibes. So I could see BioShock and Fallout 3 like swapping. But I know there's excitement for BioShock as well. And putting BioShock like at the bottom of the list doesn't seem good either, right? That's why I'm thinking maybe we might want to hold off on Chrono Trigger. We'll have to play it by ear. We really have to play it by ear. Fallout 3 and New Vegas could be intermittent. Like we could do Fallout 3 in place of Chrono Trigger, and then we can come back around to New Vegas in the future kind of thing. Like I switch Chrono Trigger and Fallout 3. Yeah, BioShock is a generally short game as well. JRPGs will probably be the longest. Baldur's Gate, yeah, that's why Baldur's Gate 3 is going in the Elden Ring slot. Once I'm done with Elden Ring, we're gonna be hopping back into Baldur's Gate 3 because those are like separate slots. I'm kind of having my like long-term playthrough game, Elden Ring, Baldur's Gate 3, whatever happens to be in the future, like something like Skyrim or something. More of a long-term game like that playthrough. Because there's no way, like if I just played Baldur's Gate like in my Jade Empire slot, I would be playing that game for well over a year, probably. So I kind of need to have them like Elden Ring type thing, Baldur's Gate in its own category. Even though Baldur's Gate is like a much more expansive and longer game than Elden Ring, from my understanding. Elden Ring's pretty massive though. I think we keep it as it is. Still also do be games come up. Yeah, exactly. But I'm excited to be right out of Jade Empire going into Middle Earth games. I've been wanting to jump into the Lord of the Rings universe again, so that'll be fun. It's a good list. Yeah. We'll address things as it goes. My big target is the August, September, October. I want to make sure that the spooky vibes are lining up with BioShock and Resident Evil.